With so many scary videos added to YouTube every day, there's plenty of videos that aren't fake. In fact, some are a little too real. Number 10. Jeff Richards has a neighbor that he thinks is creepy, and here's why. He won't stop smiling by himself at night with a flashlight. Not good. Seriously though, I'm trying to give his neighbor the benefit of the doubt, but this is one unsolved mystery that I'm not sure I want the answer to. Here he is prowling around in the middle of the night with a flashlight at nearly 2 in the morning. It's not like he dropped his keys or something, because he's doing this a lot, like some kind of routine. He looks under the gutter and then looks into Jeff's yard as if he hears something, and then he looks over the fence briefly. Here he is looking at the same area of the ground on a different night at 2 a.m. A much better look at his face. He's smiling to himself, pleased. But what is there to smile about? It's not a pleasant smile either, in my opinion. When he sees the mounted security cam, he's out of there in a hurry. The whole thing looks shady to me, maybe even a guilty conscience. But guilty of what? Here's one of the creepiest late night strolls yet. He abruptly stops, turns towards Jeff's house, and smiles gleefully as if he's seen an old friend. Maybe what he's really smiling at is a horrible future in store for Jeff. So let's recap. A neighbor keeps looking at the ground like he's buried something there, and he keeps looking over like he wants to bury something again. I'm not saying that's definitely the case, but if I saw something like this, I would definitely think he has plans for me. I'm curious as to whether or not you agree, and if so, after seeing these videos, would you have the courage to confront him if he was your neighbor? Number 9. Jamaica German records this imposing figure standing outside at 3 a.m. He rings her bell and then stiffly walks out of sight, so that if she were to look out the peephole, it would look like no one was there. My first thought is that he's hiding and also watching out for any cars passing by, as they could be potential witnesses to what he's about to do. Suddenly he gets closer and keeps his back turned, so I guess he's not worried about being seen after all. I don't know what I'd do if I saw a tall person breathing heavily with their hands clenched like this. Probably find something sharp to defend myself with and then call police. He looks tense, like he's psyching himself up to break in and do something horrible. Thankfully he thinks better of it, and Jamaica German is safe as he leaves. At least for now. Number 8. There's something riding with this ambulance. Something that doesn't belong. Wait until his left brake light goes out to see it.
Look at him, you see him? Sitting there staring. Look at him.
A perfectly oval white head sits up to look at them. This could be somebody in a stretcher, but the lack of color and facial features for that matter are both indications that this is a spirit and not a patient. Or at least not one who made it out alive. With so many lives lost in the back of these vehicles during the course of duty, I guess seeing one staring back at you is not that improbable. Number 7. Your boy Scan Shoes is walking down the street making a random vlog when he feels watched.
He's coming up. I gotta kind of hide. See that?
He turns in the direction he feels watched in and sees a large white face with the curtain pulled back.
If you guys can see that.
This could be a person wearing a mask in my opinion, but whatever it is, it's enough to send him running. Number 6. YouTuber and reptile handler Megan Margot was not intending to wear a snakeskin belt to work.
Here he is. Originally from Jamaica, obviously. These guys are wild caught.
But that seems to be her fate, as the subject of her video nudges its way through the first loop.
No. This is not a really good situation. What?
At 3 minutes and 49 seconds, you can see that the snake's head is narrow enough to fit through, but too wide to pull out, so this is not going to be an easy fix. She remains remarkably calm and is trying her best to free herself when this happens.
To go back to the exact same way. Ooh. Ooh.
Fortunately, the snake taps itself and not her arm, but it was close and it's also not over yet. She tells her co-workers and they agree that there's only one solution. It's kind of embarrassing, but far less dangerous than leaving a snake dangling around your waist.
He's literally like in my belt and I tried to pull him and he started trying to bite me. So yeah, we're gonna have to cut my clothes.
There's no way she could have escaped this situation all by herself. It takes one person to cut the loops and another to safely keep the snake from acting on its instincts and defending itself. Megan's job is to be brave and stay still. It's a good thing that she has a team with her, because if she was there by herself, then I guess she would have to call for help or wait for the person to come in and hope for the best in the meantime. Number 5. This woman stands frozen on the street corner as if trapped in a horrible dream. I think she is under the grip of something strong and is probably a victim of life on the streets, because she is standing completely still and staring ahead like she's in a trance. Some people think this is a demonic influence. I think this is probably not paranormal, but what do you think? Number 4. A woman hands her kin to an officer for help. She covers her eyes to shield herself from the horrifying images. The father holds the child in place, and the officer performs an emergency maneuver. But precious seconds pass. There's nothing left for them to do but step back and let the police try to save their son. You can see him trying to get air to his lungs. And at this moment, when the boy's parents see life return to his eyes and they both reach out, you can tell they are both deeply concerned. So I'm guessing this was a medical issue, or maybe he swallowed food wrong. And this is the moment when the boy's parents see life return to his eyes and they both reach out. You can tell they're both deeply concerned, so I'm guessing this was a medical issue, or maybe he swallowed food wrong.
Yes, ma'am. My son is, we're at KFC and my son's not breathing.
Okay, is he not breathing at all?
He's not responding.
Okay, and you said you're at KFC?
Yes, ma'am.
Amazingly, this officer was not responding to the incident and happened to be driving by. The ambulance arrived later and the boy probably was saved by an officer by sheer luck. Number 3. A YouTuber named Chief Haronka is watching a science fiction show on cable TV when there's a burst of static followed by a man who doesn't have any part in the series at all. The unfriendly blue figure interrupts the dialogue to say nothing, but his piercing stare says it all. It looks like he's hacked his way through the airwaves and into this person's living room. It's not fake in my opinion, because this is a live broadcast, and that would be extremely hard to do. Nothing about it looks computer animated either. According to Chief Haronka, this happened a few times throughout the episode, but this last instance was the only sighting he got on camera. Maybe the station was testing their emergency broadcasting equipment, but something tells me that this person was most likely testing their weaknesses instead. Number 2. A woman comes banging on the door and doesn't wait for an answer before trying to claw her way inside however she can. Judging by how she frantically pulls on the door, it looks like she might have escaped an attacker and is now desperate to get away from someone who is still chasing her. But she is too disoriented and confused to make any sense of her surroundings or explain herself. She doesn't seem to fully understand what she's doing, even as she is trying to enter.
What is going on? What is going on?
And when told to get away by the scared person hiding inside, it doesn't seem to register that she doesn't belong here.
What are you doing?
Is this the result of a substance or shock from a traumatic situation?
Why?
When the cops come, she somehow drops her mania and seems totally calm, much different than before, yet still just as confused.
Hi.
She thinks that she knows the woman inside, but they have never met before.
Do you live here?
No, I don't.
So why are you banging on the door?
Because my friend was there.
Based on her behavior, I think she was in the middle of a delusion, or might have done something even more drastic if she had managed to get inside. The mysterious case is still under investigation, but I'd like to hear your theories while this gets sorted out. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what Chills looks like in real life, then go to his Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. There's a YouTube channel called Jimmy987 that has some videos that seem confusing unless you speak Spanish, at which point they tell a narrative that becomes downright terrifying. So here's a video of someone with their head covered, motionless. The title reads, "Just Breathe" in Spanish. This stark message, accompanied by a picture with his hands down and possibly tied in front of him, creates a mystery that I don't want to solve. This next video, called Find Me, shows a person rocking back and forth with a blanket over their head, trying their best to comfort themselves after going through something horrible. I think this could be Jimmy, the person who this channel is named after. Something about the way it was filmed seems terribly real. This final video is the most cryptic of all as far as content goes, but the title is where it starts to make sense, and not in a good way. It's called Sala de Rojo, Red Room. And if you don't know what a red room is, you don't want to find out.
The following videos are so scary that I don't think you can handle all of them.